Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name is Xander Raymond Charles. I'm a guitar player, I'm a solo artist, and I love teaching music theory. So in this video, I want to talk about music theory and talk about how I use it to create riffs, as I'm predominantly known for writing riffs and composing arrangements with riff-oriented music. I want to talk about where my brain goes with music theory, how I use it, how I figure out where I'm at on the fretboard no matter the tuning, and I want to relay all that to you, and therefore you can use it and implement it into your own creative endeavors. I'm really passionate about this video, and it does not cost a thing. All I ask in return, since you clicked on this video, is if you could support me in any and every which way. Follow me on any sort of streaming service platform, like, comment, subscribe on this video. Do whatever you can to help me out, man. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I love this topic, and I love, sharing my knowledge of the fretboard, and, it's just a lot of fun to me. So it would mean a lot if you just could help me out in any which way, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy today's lesson. So I'm going to break down theory today for you all in a very basic understanding. I myself am just a regular dude that kind of figured out theory along the way. I don't look like your theory whiz, your theory professor. I mean, look at me, right? I don't look the part, but I know what I'm talking about, and I feel as though I can take theory, put it through some sort of filter in my brain, and dish it out to you all, okay? So we're going to be talking about composing riffs and where my brain goes and what do I do on the fretboard when I'm playing. The first thing that I do is I go right to mode land, okay? Modes. Now we're already starting off with a big topic. What is a mode, okay? So I have several videos on my channel about modes, but basically it's a scale inside of a scale. And the best way to think about it is it's a scale inside of a major scale. Let me take the time to break this down for you all. Like I said, if you want more in-depth knowledge on modes, I highly recommend you looking through my channel, through my catalog. Just search modes and you'll find an abundance of content for you all. But a mode is a scale within a scale, okay? So let's just take plain old C major. C major is the easiest scale to know in music. It's just a series of whole steps and half steps. And when you follow that formula of whole steps and half steps, which is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, you get all the natural notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C back to the octave, okay? Now, before I go any further, I highly recommend you guys to make flashcards, take notes, rewind this video, slow it down. I'm going to keep moving, and I'm going to explain everything at a rather quick pace, but that's the beauty of having this stuff on the internet. It'll be here forever, and you can watch it many times as you want until it sticks, okay? All the natural notes, no sharps, no flats, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. With every letter, we get a respective mode. So just like the letters of the alphabet in the scale go in order, alphabetical order, the modes in music also go in, we'll say, numerical order, meaning the modes all have a fixed position in the order of the modes. And they are as follows: Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Again, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. So those are all fancy ways to say 1 through 7, okay? They're fancy, weird names. I don't know what they mean. Doesn't matter. 1 through 7. So each of those modes gets a respective number. So Ionian's 1, Dorian 2, Phrygian 3, etc. Okay, so where am I going? Let me try to bridge the gap here. Okay, so if we have C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, we put a mode down the row of all the letters, and each letter in that scale gets a respective mode. So in C major, the modes are as follows: C, Ionian. Ionian is a fancy way to say major. D, Dorian. E, Phrygian. F, Lydian. G, Mixolydian. A, Aeolian. And B, Locrian, or some people say Locrian. I know there's going to be somebody out there trying to correct me. I say Locrian. It sounds cooler. My favorite mode, based off the sound, is Phrygian, okay? That's just one that I've studied over the years, and I've kind of grown accustomed to playing, and I know where Phrygian is on the fretboard. So if I wanted to play the notes of C major, but I wanted to play the Phrygian mode of C major, put 2 and 2 together here, I would be playing in E Phrygian, because E is the third letter of C major, the scale. Phrygian is the third note, 2 and 2 together, E Phrygian. That's how I go about figuring out where I'm at in terms of modes and what modes are appropriate for the respective keys. So I know that's a lot of information in give or take 5 minutes. I'm not naive to that. So please take notes, study this video, slow it down, retain it as fast or slow as you need to, but just don't watch this once and be like, oh, okay, I got it, because it's not going to happen. This video will be up for as long as my channel's up, hopefully till I'm, well dead and gone. So take the time to learn what I just said so far in the beginning of this video. Now, there's one other piece of information I want to talk about with modes, and then we're going to actually start playing. I'm going to use one of my songs called Like Frostbite and show you guys how I wrote that riff and how I wrote that song using modes and riffs. For the sake of time, just go with me on this one. Each mode has a spelling. I'll put all the spelling of the modes up on this chart right now. Please copy it down, jot it down, just memorize this. Trust me, I'm not wasting your time. Please, please, please memorize this, retain this chart right here. If you look at the spelling of Phrygian, it's as follows: flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. Again, the spelling of a Phrygian mode is flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7. Now, if you notice, I'm not looking at anything. I'm looking at you guys, you, the camera lens, because I've got this all memorized. I've done my time hitting the books to where I can retain all this and recall it instantly, to where when it's time to create and when it's time to write, I'm not thinking and I'm not like jotting things down. It's all up here. So that's not me saying like, oh, look how much I know. I'm telling you guys, it just comes so second nature to me, to where when I need to write something and create something, I can just go by muscle memory and by feel as it pertains to using my theory knowledge. I don't have to go, oh, wait a second, and open up a textbook, okay? Let's pretend this guitar is tuned to, we'll say, drop C. So if we use the open string 0 as C as our root note, well, what if we went whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step? Those frets are 0, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 12. That is following the C major formula with the low string as the root note. That same concept applies for any guitar tuning. Just so happens I'm in one of, if not my favorite tunings right now, and that is drop F. It's so gnarly, dude. I can take that same concept and go 0, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay, so I just played an F major scale. But what if I wanted to play an F Phrygian scale? We're getting somewhere. Here's where it's all going to connect for you guys. I hope you guys are with me so far. Remember I said the spelling of a Phrygian scale is flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7th? Well, what 2, 3, 6, and 7 are we flattening? It is in fact a major scale. So we take a major scale, flatten the 2, flatten the 3rd, flatten the 6th, flatten the 7th, play it as such, it manifests a Phrygian scale. So check this out. F. Here's normal 2 in F major. Now we're going flat 2. So open 1. Love it already. Flat 3. 4 and 5 are the same. Flat 6. Flat 7. And then the octave. I'm just making stuff up on the spot right now. But I'm playing all of those notes that I just mapped out for myself. I'm playing an F Phrygian scale. And so now here's extra credit. If I'm playing an F Phrygian, where am I really playing? Meaning, what major scale am I actually playing? That's the $1 million question. That's extra credit. That's bonus points. So I'll answer that for myself. In order to get from Phrygian to Ionian or major, we have to go back 2 whole steps. So if we go from F, back a whole step, E flat, and then back a whole step again, D flat, D flat, E flat, F, F Phrygian. So I'm using my signature 6-string Arabesque XRC6 from Cerberus Guitars. The coolest baritone probably in the entire solar system. If I did have to, guess which one is the best, I would say it's this one. My point is that you should probably buy one of these when they're available. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. My point is, I wrote this song that I'm about to show you, Like Frostbite, on this very guitar. And I mapped out all of those notes by just following the scale pattern and following the fret pattern that I laid out and labeled for myself. So the opening riff is actually past the octave. So if I just continued up the scale a little bit, the opening riff goes. So up to speed. Second part. Then back to the first part again. And the ending kind of tag there is. And those frets are just bouncing off of the F string, so they're in key because they're octaves. But it's 13 and 12, 12 and 10, 10 and 8, and 10 and 12. So when I wrote that, I swear to you, I was not like, oh, I have to be in F Phrygian from a note standpoint. I was like, I want to be in F Phrygian from these frets are guaranteed to work. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not thinking like, oh, I hope I hit an E flat because I need to because it's in the scale, yada, yada. No, it's like, I'm just going to hit these frets that I've continuously in this video keep labeling and keep hammering home. So if I know that's where the frets are, and I know that's where the notes are in the frets, I guess I should say, it's going to work a million times. It's never not going to work. So all I have to do is just create something cool using those frets, and the scale will always be there. There's never an exception to the rule. The only time the exception happens is if you change tuning or if you're out of tune. But those scale patterns and those notes will always work every single time. So altogether, put myself on the spot, see if I can play my own music. Here is Like Frostbite, the opening riff in one take. Hey, I did it. And I think that riff is super bouncy and it's so cool, man. I'm really proud of that song. The video that Jenna and I shot in our backyard has got over 10K views in a little over a week. So super proud of it, stoked on it, and I love that main hook, that main motif. So verse 2, I guess we'll say, has another riff, and it's very much F Phrygian because I'm following, again, the same notes. And all it is... And all that is open 1 and 3 with some harmonics. It's not, setting the world on fire in terms of complexity, but all those notes are in key. We're not changing keys at all. So that, everybody, is more or less where my brain goes when I pick up my beautiful signature guitar and I want to come up with something cool, man. I don't think about like the literal notes, meaning the letters. I think about like, I'm going to, remember the scale on the fretboard, and if I just go to that scale, if I just go to those frets, no matter the tuning, it will always work. Phrygian is my favorite one, but I also love Locrian, I love Ionian, Aeolian every now and again, but Phrygian is my jam. That's my bread and butter. That open 1, come on, man, come on. It's so sick, like who doesn't love that? So a lot of my riffs, you guys will notice, are always like hitting the open 1, and then I'm doing my bouncy stuff past the octave. Well, I love this noise down here, the open 1 relationship, but then I also play the scale up here past the octave, and that's kind of become more or less my signature style, my signature sound, and not too many people play riffs like that anymore. So I'm pretty stoked on that I came up with that. I didn't invent it per se, but I love it all the same. All that to say, man, that's how I use theory, and that's how I've studied theory over the years and incorporated it into creating. Memorize the pattern on the fretboard, know the scale, know the mode that you're in, know the mode that you want to create, what you find most inspiring, and then just don't miss the frets and come up with something cool. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you learned something. Like I said, man, take notes. This stuff is not easy, but it's also just like third grade math, okay? It's just nothing but a never-ending, beautiful puzzle that always works every time, okay? So with that being said, everybody, yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I love you guys so much. Thank you always for always just being so good to me. Thank you always for being so good to me. It means the world to me. With that being said, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Later.